Hey YouTube, it's Christy Nitro from the fabulous Las Vegas area, and if you're tuning into this video, you know you're about to go on a little art journal adventure for me. I'm going to do a flip through, and I'm going to show you good things, and I'm going to show you bad things, and I want to put out a disclaimer. This is not going to be the greatest art journal book that you have ever seen in your life, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with showing you things that worked out, and I'm okay with showing you things that I need to improve on. It's just me getting things down on the paper. It's a girl at a dog park with limited supplies, facing wind elements, which is crazy here in the desert, and just having fun with art. When's the last time you could honestly say that you just had fun creating some kind of art, good or bad? So that's what this is. Look how I set it up all romantic. Like, oh, this is so serious. It's not a serious video, you guys. It's just me walking you through steps, and it's a learning thing. So one day I can also look back and be like, what was I thinking? Or yes, I should do that more often. So let me move the little romantic flower out of the way and my coffee, and let's get into it. This is the string journal that you can find still at Michael's for a great price. And first thing I want to put out there is when you are choosing a notebook, make sure it feels good in your hand. This feels right. I love holding it. It makes me want to play with it, and that's a great start, I think. I don't know. I'm so big into touching and feeling things. The notebook itself comes with one white notebook and one craft colored notebook, and all I did was made it my own by some printed burlap and then some printed canvas that you're seeing here. I started off with saying a simple hello to myself, saying hello, let's do this. Hello, let's start this adventure. And I added things that I love to look at, like the Tim Holtz Crazy Birds. I'm crazy about them. They're goofy, they're fun, great starting point. I think I kept it simple by coordinating the same stencil and stamp, which is just a honeycomb adventure. And if you look at it, doesn't it kind of look like a DNA strand when all said was done? There's so many things you can get out of like little art journaling, and this is just a straight warm-up journal. That's all this is. It's nothing serious. Like I said, it's just me playing around, getting ideas together. So that's how that started off. And then you can see I brought everything together with this cute little, what I call, shot group. If you've ever fired a weapon a day in your life, you know the shot group that I'm going with. So that's that little adventure into another adventure, which I started this at home with the stencil, the cityscape that you're seeing here, and it just exploded into something I wasn't even thinking about, but I love it. I brought these big old stamp sets with me to the dog park, and I didn't bring a huge stamp block. So yes, everything was done with me on the table, like pressing down, and it didn't turn out all the way that I wanted, but it's okay because it's kind of mysterious. You see that? But it works with the handwriting that you see in the corner, which is just my own. I use some Tattered Angels mist, so you can kind of see it's got this blue effect on it, but it also looks like a cloudy day. And everything overall came together, and it's just going to be a jumping point for maybe something I put on a canvas or carry down the road later on. Moving into this one, which I think personally it's an epic fail. The only reason why I say that, I kind of went crazy, and there's not just one focal point. You see how your eye is jumping all over this page? I should have pulled back and only did one of the stamps that you're seeing here in the black. I added these later, but I wanted to go for, when I saw this stamp, it reminded me of like waiting for a train back in the day, or something you would see in an old style movie. And I added the clock, and I went with the clock stencil in the background, and I should have pulled back again and pushed this over, got rid of the postcard, and definitely, whoops, sorry, got rid of that. But, you know, it's a starting point. Now I know what to do next time, and overall, it's a great learning curve. This is one of my favorite spreads, and it's funny because it took me the least amount of time. I pulled this together in about 10 minutes, and it was so windy, and I tried to get that feeling in here with the clouds like moving along. This stencil is about yay big, so all I did was extend it and added more branches, and you can see how I highlighted the trees in the white. That was simply done with, yes, believe it or not, just a set of Crayola pencils. Everything you're seeing in here is not crazy expensive supplies. I don't have any of those when it comes to colored pencils, so I use Crayola. And you know what? They work quite well. The clouds that you're seeing, simple. Little dab of white acrylic paint on your finger and blend it in. The rest of the color that you're seeing was all done with Distress inks. Colored pencils there, made the branch to make the branches in the background all kind of come together, and I added some more texture with just a simple stamp in the Distress ink as well. I want to say this is a epic fail as well. The day at the dog park, I don't know what I was thinking. I just brought brown ink, no black ink, and I should have known because I like framing certain things and highlighting certain things, but I didn't bring it with me, so the black that you're seeing was just done with a Pitt pen, which is okay, but it's not the same texture, it's not the same feel, because I love how this part turned out. See how it almost looks like it's burnt in? It's great. And then the white colored pencil to highlight it, and I even got some gold embossing, which didn't turn out the way as planned, but overall I have a general idea of where I was going with it, so it's not a complete loss. This day at the park, the only thing I'm going to say is it was awkward. And what I mean by that is I was sitting at one table. An older gentleman sat down on a table across from me, and he stared. It wouldn't have been as bad if he would have just said a simple hello or a head nod or any of those. However, he said nothing and just stared. So awkward, but I got through it. I just put on my headphones, playing with the dogs around me, and I had all the Dilution stuff. I just kind of wrapped it all up and brought it with me. The saying says it all with this one. What appears to be the end is usually the start of a new beginning, and all that means is the outlining factor changes. So it's kind of like an ongoing spread, and everything was colored up with just Crayola pencils as well. But look at that background. I learned so much this day. That's a stencil, it's a stamp, it's blending things together to kind of get it overall. And I'm sorry about the glare, it's not picking up true colors, but trust me, everything kind of like meshed together, and I love that background, so I'm using it again. See how we're learning? We're learning. This is so funky fresh. That's what I'm calling it, because I wanted to use this image that was given to me from Art Junkie, who's Shannon Pratt. Thank you, girl. I love this stamp. It's what I call creepy cute style. I mean, look at her. She's fierce. So to make a fierce little backdrop for her to be in, it had to be something bold. So the background bubbles that you're seeing are using the Dilutions paints, and let me just tell you, those things are so fun to play with. The way they react with inks and different mediums, it's awesome. So you're always learning when you play with those paints. The image itself is just colored up with the Crayola pencils again, and then I went with a jelly roll marker to highlight some of them, and same with the background. It's all jelly roll and colored pencils, and using the paints and playing and seeing how everything came together. This is more, I needed another cup of coffee, and that's all I could think about. So this is how this spread came to be. I wanted to start off like an old cafe feeling, if I was somewhere in Europe and just reading my newspaper and doing that whole lifestyle. So that's where the background came with, where it's kind of that old-fashioned wallpaper feel. The image I stamped on the paper itself, and I didn't like where it was going, so I stamped it again on another piece of craft paper, and then it's all colored up again with using the Crayola pencils. I got some Wink of Stella in it again, and this was part of the stamp, and I continued it into the heart because it kind of goes with the saying, we're the perfect blend. So other stencils, and this I should have pulled back as well and not added all the coffee bean stamps, but again, it's a great starting point for what I can do next time on a canvas or a different piece. This I posted on Instagram because I made myself chuckle being cheesy me. I call it blueprints. Do you get it? Okay, crickets. But I thought it was funny at the time. Like, really, I was laughing with my dog. It is a combination of the Tim Holtz blueprint stamp set and the blueprints that you're seeing in the background. I just got a kick out of it. I don't know why, I thought it was so funny. These stamps that you're seeing here where it says start and end were from the $1.50 spot at Michael's, the Studio G. Once you get those suckers apart and you get them going, I think they stamp better than some of the higher priced alphas. So I was really surprised by that, and I might be picking myself up some more. But it was fun. It was a goofy time. All the images, again, are colored up with the pencils. And just look at how that played off the dots. It just came through. I love the way it came together. It was fun. It was absolutely fun. This was another just experiment. I laid down some news print from a book, just one of the book pages, and I wanted to color that old style tattoo. Think back to like the 1940s and 50s where you saw the sailors with that style tattoo. That was what I was going for the colors. I wanted it to be over the top and bold, and the way it's all blended together, and it was just fun. Again, Crayola pencils. One day I hope to upgrade. This was the background. It was me putting it on top with distressings and then taking it away with the Faber-Castell Gelatos and a baby wipe. But, you know, you got to take chances. So I put, in the end, we only regret the chances we didn't take. That's so true. Again, not the greatest, but it's a learning point, and it all came together. And it taught me a little something something. This I just posted recently on Instagram because love it. Oh my gosh, it came together perfect, and it screams my style. The wood background with the wood stamping, and this was like a massive stamp, and I just took little pieces of it and just slapped it down, and where it didn't turn out perfect, I just added some pen to pull it down. These images were stamped on craft paper before applying it, which gave me ample time to put down shading and build that up. The rest of it is just done with colored pencil. With the white colored pencil, this one's actually on the paper. A lot of shading, and you only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. I think that's perfectly said. It goes with the clocks and everything else. I mean, just look at how these just jump off. Even with that glare, you get that definition between the shading, and that's something I definitely want to play with more because, as you can see, it makes a world of difference. This was an epic fail, and the only reason why I tell you this is this paper was too much to begin with, and I wanted to build up a face. However, I laid it down with Mod Podge, and the Mod Podge for some reason was not reacting the way I wanted with the supplies that I had that day. So it's horrible, but it got me in that creative mood for Mother's Day. That's why it's so girly and all that. I just needed to get in that mind frame. But I do like the swirls, how I pulled it into the hair, and the shadowing is alright. It could use some work too, but the Mod Podge had a huge to do with that. And then finally, yeah, this is the last one in the book. This is just me wanting to use a new stamp set I got. I found it, I wanted it, and I got the camera stamp set. So it's me using cools and warms together. Do you see how much that red pops off the craft? Cooler colors, and those were, the cool colors were Spectrum Noir markers, and then some white color pencil over that, and just layering stuff. I added my shot group again, but really made it big and bold, and just playing off of it and having fun. So that's why I just put a big noted, because noted on what to do and what not to do. But again, how the colors worked together and everything came together, but I should have pulled back more and had less things happening in certain places. I don't know, I had fun. What can I say? It's a day in the park with me. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give me a thumbs up, please, so I know, like, hey, this is a cool style video. If you want me to get more in depth, let me know. That's what that comment section's for. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, keep crafting.